Yeah, so let's go over job transfers real quick. So there's a few different aspects of job transfers that we actually want to keep in mind. So we have first, the compliancy stand piece of it that we want to actually say that we can go and say people are doing certain jobs, if they're being up on our roof, if they are going and they are behind a forklift, if they're driving a truck. All these things are really applicable to OSHA. So we're tracking that data, as well as some people may actually transfer to different positions throughout the day. And when they do that, it could even affect their pay. And so making sure that people are being paid the right amount for the tasks that they're actually doing at the time, so make sure that the company actually stays running completely lean. For instance, if someone is a forklift operator in a warehouse environment, they may be getting paid, $30, $40 an hour. And say when they're stocking shelves, it may be $15 an hour. So, you're literally saving 50% on pay right there by them switching over into that job. So there's a lot of value that doing a job transfer brings to the table to the company, and it's super easy to do. Literally, all an employee would have to do to transfer into a job is if you look at the bottom row, you'll see a tile that says job transfer. An employee will come up to it real quick. They'll just identify or verify themselves. And this is a test employee. So again, I have a ton of different things here, but whatever job or task that they need to go into, so it could be that forklift operator or that they're going back to stocking shelves, the employee would just simply come up, click it, and it'll transfer them right into the workforce management system.
Here's a question. You showed a list of jobs. Is everybody going to see the same list, or the list is completely dynamic based on the person, based on the locations?
That's actually defined through the HCM system that it'll be able to be filtered through that. So there'll actually be limits on the list that are put there. So if you have 1,000 jobs that are there, but only like five of them are applicable to an employee, then only five jobs will show.
So what is the one of the biggest benefits? So you mentioned like people can check in what job they are performing. What is one of the biggest benefit? How the tablet, this whole hrPad, changes the dynamics.
So one of the great things about hrPad again is that since it is on a tablet, it can be, ran off of Wi-Fi. You can have a SIM card on it, as well as if you want the same traditional form factor as a clock, you can even have an adapter to it. And it can be hardwired. So no matter how you want to throw it, if you need a foreman to walk around with it on a mobile device, it can be done like that, as well as it can be tethered. So
So
it
the
gives you a lot more flexibility than the standard traditional clock would.
so because it is running on the off the shelf tablet, like say Android tablet, $150, they can throw as many of these tablet all over the
Mhm.
places. They don't have to worry about it, right? Is that possible?
It is. And not only that, but you don't even have to run a hardwire to it. And so you don't need any special adapters or anything like that because all the tablets and iPads today come with a Wi-Fi card built into them.
Got it. So Anik, what is some other benefits? Why some of the many of our customers
Mhm.
are using this?
Right. So, like how Tyler showed, you can definitely pull up a list of jobs and you can select one. That is definitely one approach. But there are just so much more dynamism into it. Uh, a common trend that we have seen so far is a lot of the times the jobs are actually defined by locations. So if you're doing the work as a forklift operator, you would do it like from a designated location. If you're working as a foreman, you would do it from a different location. Now, for these use cases, it doesn't really make sense to walk up to a clock or a tablet and manually select your job, right? That's a couple of pushes of buttons that you don't really need. In that case, what hrPad can facilitate is if your tablet is in a location where you are only working as a forklift operator, the hrPad can actually know that. So in that case, even if you're doing a simple clock in, it already knows you are clocking in a location where you are only going to be working as a forklift operator. So it will already have that job code with your clock in. Now, the great thing is for the employees, it's just one click of a button. They don't have to remember transfers. They don't have to select from a list. They just click clock in. They are into that job.
Oh,
Similarly, when that yep, go ahead.
so that's amazing. So basically, you know, they can put hrPad in all the places. The job code is already embedded. It knows.
Mhm.
So when employees just check in, check out, it will automatically put, it's like, okay, you are in the storage area. So you are performing some job related to storage. If you are in the forklift, you
Absolutely.
have forklift. That's pretty interesting. Okay. So
Mhm.
completely seamless, right?
Right. You don't even have to like clock out. Like for example, I'm working as a forklift operator. I walked up to that location. I clocked in. Already I'm working as a forklift operator. You clock in, you are done. You walked up, we walk up to a different location where you are maybe a mechanic or you are a technical person. You just clock in there. You will be automatically clocked out from your previous job and you'll be working in your new job. Now for you, it's just two clicks. That's it. But in the background, hrPad is taking care of a job transfer, concluding that job, starting a new job. Everything is seamless and it's just so easy for employees.
Fantastic. So, what I'm seeing from what you guys are talking about, two things. Number one, if employees are not clocking in for the higher paying work they are performing, they are getting paid less. So
Mhm.
this one is making sure that's not happening. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, somebody can exploit it, like clocking for a forklift all day long when you are working somewhere else.
Mhm.
Wow.
Exactly. And it automates that process for them and it takes that step out just to make their life that much easier.
Okay.
A common trend
So
I have seen, like talking to a lot of organizations, little things do add up. So when you walk up to a tablet, press on a button, go through a drop-down list, select one. Maybe for a day, that's just 30 seconds, but eventually for an employer, that does add up. That's your paid time. So when we are automating that process through just a press of a button, that does save the employer a lot of time, a lot of money, making everyone's life easier. For the employee, it's an easy experience. They can focus more on their job. For the employer, they're saving more time. So it's like a win-win for the whole ecosystem.
oh, that's fantastic. I'm sure there can be all kinds of the union contracts that there's a stipulation, certain job they can do only so much, right?
Mhm.
Well, also imagine that, like, let's say they're using like just a traditional like employee self-service kiosk at a computer, and now you're having to come up and you have to type in a really long username and a really long password every single time you want to go and transfer it into that forklift operator position, or you need to go and stock the shelves. That would take a tremendous amount of time. It will create bottlenecks. This completely alleviates that.
This is fantastic, and this runs on any tablet, right? Android, iOS, doesn't
Mhm.
matter.
Android or iOS, off the shelf, nothing specialized.
That's really
And
fantastic. Yeah, go ahead.
some of these jobs are really multi-layered. So if you think about another use case, like it's not only a job. Sometimes it can be a location, then maybe a sub-location, then a job. So what hrPad can also do, maybe you do have to select a job. Maybe a location has multiple jobs that they have to select against. We can actually zoom it out. So based on your location, maybe we can do the selection per till location. So we automatically select the location, we automatically select the sub-location, we select the project they're working on based on where the tablet is. They just select a job. So even if they have to select a job, we are taking care of the first three steps. So that is also saving that time.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that seeing this tree. It's a pretty
Mhm.
nasty tree you have to traverse through to select that particular job.
Yeah, there
Exactly.
can be
There's a
like
really
up to
big
10
business
trees.
structure.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
There's a
there
very
can be
big
up to
business
like 10,
structure.
20 segments. Sorry, Tyler, I
I
was,
like it.
yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, say there's some really big business structures that are out there, and that's the tree that you're describing there. So, as Onyx was mentioning, people have it built out to where it may be location, it may be jobs, maybe projects, tasks. I mean, it really can go down some granular things. But with hrPad, I say we can take a few steps that they have to go through to go into those specialized positions or unique situations they have. They have a robust work structure. hrPad covers that all.
Mhm.
This is amazing because of course, if you have a big tree that employees they have to remember all this thing, I'm sure that occasionally they make mistake and they have to go to the HR to spend all the time to correct it. I mean, just gotta be hassle everywhere.
Well, think about it like this as well. If you're a very large organization and you have a a labor force that is, not always super skilled, then, making their lives as streamlined as possible is gold. We've heard so many times as well, hey, can you blow up this button? And so, like, they're transferring to jobs throughout the day a lot, and that's a big emphasis. We even have the ability here, just like you see the Ask HR button, we can blow up the job transfer button just to make everybody's lives easier.
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's pretty helpful, guys. I really appreciate explaining that and love to learn more about the different functionalities. So yeah, this is really helpful. Thank you.
Absolutely.